And good morning. It's Saturday already. How are you feeling? 75, a few clouds. For the most part, you should be able to get what you need to do during the day. The chance of rain primarily moves in after 3 o'clock. A 70% chance at that point, but it will be cloudy, and you never can rule out that little shower coming down. But for the most part, it will be later this afternoon before we get into the heavier rain. A little fog earlier this morning. Things are looking better as the day begins. We'll take a look at radar in a moment and see where those storms are. If you're traveling north of here, anywhere near Arkansas, moving into the Tennessee area, do expect some rain showers today. It'll be a little bit rougher there than it is in our area. Last night, I had a chance to go down to Meridian. Went to the Temple Theater as the Skinner Brothers Band was there. I had a great time there. Had a chance to walk around Meridian. We'll get some pictures posted of how Meridian looked after dark last night. It's been many moons since I stood backstage at the Temple Theater. My, how time flies. Can't remember Alan and, well, even back in the days with Conway Twitty standing there. Anybody remember those guys? It's been a while, but that was fun to be there. Got to meet and talk to so many different people. As we begin this morning, we go to start out, we talk about Stonewall first. Yesterday, as we go back and look at that, an arrest was made, an argument that's been going on for roughly 3 weeks. Long time brewing, isn't it? Shots rang out in Stonewall. Well, the police were at a training. They had to break away for a minute to go handle the situation. They arrested those individuals. Nobody was hurt, but an argument that just kept building and building and building until shots were fired. I don't guess we'll ever quite understand as to why somebody does that. That's like the extreme. Should be for protection. I don't know why people just, well, y'all know what I mean by that. This morning, if you're out and about, don't forget to drop by. I got a picture a moment ago. We'll add this as we glance at this coming to MCC this morning. The annual FCA, the Fellow Christian Athletes car show is there and cornhole event. Mike Goldman and the gang are helping out with that. It goes to help out the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a very good cause in our area. I hope you can make it by. The trucks are starting to line in, and it looks great. Again, we'll share some of those pictures in a little bit. It will be this morning from 9 until 1. I already see a typo that I need to correct on the post, and I'll get that done here in just a moment. So I hope you can make it out. Enjoy the festivities there at MCC this morning. A little rain came through yesterday afternoon, lost some power in Kemper County. At one point, there were several folks without it. EMEPA was able to get back out and get that situated. Overnight, and I wanted to bring this up also, this is posted on our page this morning. MPD was there. Hopefully, this is about fixed by now. Let me pull this up where you can look at this and know what I'm talking about when I say this stuff. Here near Applebee's, right here, there in the curve there where the guardrail is, an officer was there just a little bit ago. Someone overnight had an accident and, well, decided to drive away, messed up the guardrail, and it was hanging in the roadway. MPD was there until they could have maintenance crews out to repair or remove that. So if you're wondering what the blue lights are in that area, that's why the police are there this morning, right before we get to Applebee's. Just couldn't keep it in the curve there. Overnight, pretty much a peaceful night. As always, we get more information as the day goes forward of mischief sometimes that gets underway. We did have a report that a shot was fired, but as it turns out, it wasn't a shot fired at all. As we pull up this, it was, well, just somebody in an argument. And again, arguments lead to different things. This time, as we look at this, on 7th Street, they just couldn't get along. And, well, before it was all said and done, it was a brick thrown right up through the window there. It was reported something else, and then it was straightened out. Again, a brick. Pretty mad at somebody if you throw a brick, aren't you? That did happen. As we look to the county last night, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department called off a chase. They got into a pursuit, I guess is the word for it, as we go into the rural portions of Lauderdale County and on into Kemper County. As it got there, it became, well, apparent that it was not safe anymore, and the chase was called off. They were after a few individuals that were on four-wheelers. And when it became a little bit, well, it's not safe anymore, that was called off. No one was hurt in that. We did get a report, and I don't have the ending result of this of how serious, but we send out prayers in that area anytime that there's an incident out to the Russell area as we pull this up of a possible four-wheeler wreck in this area here last night. The volunteer fire department went out for this call last night. We do hope that everybody is okay. Four-wheelers can be very dangerous. They can overturn, hit a pothole, and they flip. It's no telling what happened, but we do hope everybody is okay in this, and it's just a bruise or two is what we pass along. I spoke with Eric Clark yesterday, very busy man, as the Neshoba County Fair has wound up once again. They finally put an end to this. It took them a week, and that's not really long to solve a case and make an arrest. What am I talking about? Well, I posted last Friday a truck that was stolen from the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. We had a lot of comments on it going, well, maybe a wrecker come got it. I've seen that's happened. Well, that wasn't the case at all. It was somebody that stole the truck. As we pull this up, this is that brand spanking new GMC. It wasn't an F-150. It was a Chevrolet GMC Sierra 2022 model taken. As they camped out on this and done the investigation, the more they got involved in this, along with the help of C&M Security there at the Neshoba County Fairgrounds, there were about 6 vehicles that were broken into. People taking things they shouldn't. Well, with the help of that and the Sheriff's Department, they caught them in the act. After questioning, they would later admit, yeah, we stole the truck and we've taken it and hid it. They would be led some 22 miles from the fairgrounds up in the Bogachita community. Back in the pine trees on a wooded trail through there, what you'd call an old skidder road, they found the pickup truck. It looks to be all intact, and it was returned to the owner. Charges are pending, and we do think there will be more arrests coming with this. They got 1 female adult and 1 male juvenile that was arrested, that was involved in all of this. More arrests are coming. They've got the names, and handcuffs will come. Can't be doing that, and as always, the Neshoba County Sheriff's Department, we want to remind you, that's what they're there for, to protect and to serve. And when people do wrong, they go get them and bring them to justice. And that's what happened here. Big thank you to them. You always want to know that a comfort layer, if something goes on, the police are going to be there. And they did. They went above and beyond to track down the culprits involved with that. Great job by all involved in that investigation. Well, don't forget today, if you've got kids and school is starting back either, it depends on where you go. I think County and Lauderdale County is back by Thursday. There's areas of Mississippi to where it will start on Monday. But no matter where you are in the state of Mississippi, today will be the last day. It started yesterday, the Mississippi no sales tax, and I'm using my ink pen, aren't I, for back to school. We hope you'll take advantage of that. That saves 7% on the dollar. Now, again, as I've said so many times, and you may be sick of hearing it, it's up to $100 per item. If it's 101, it does not qualify, but $100 and below, it qualifies into that to be tax-free. Good luck, and I hope you'll go out and take advantage of that and get the kids what they need as they head back to school, as always. Good morning. A lot of folks up and Adam, Denise Burnside, I see you, Rick Joyner, Marty Havard. How are you? It is better. Mary, sorry about that, a brick than a gun. I agree with you. Hi all, Betsy Parnell is up. I'm glad to see you there. As we look at this, our next story, we discovered that a Meridian Man has been convicted of attempted witness tampering. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, he was already in jail. He's already done something wrong. And, well, what he did was made phone calls to family members trying to get them to change their story as to what they were going to testify to. That becomes a part of witness tampering. Well, how do they know about this? Most likely that was done from a jail phone. That's how they know these things. The little window and boop. Yeah, they hear all that. So he's got extra charges there as we see this. Daniel Robert was arrested in June of 2018 on charges related to drug trafficking that spanned multiple states from 2007 to 2009. He was busy there. He was indicted in 2009, and he's been in jail ever since. He's captured in 2018. He had done this stuff back in the late 2000s and was arrested some 9 years later. Whew, now he's got a new charge on him. As we start looking at this, yesterday I did get a mention of this, and I had not got a chance to get it up yet. The Meridian Police Department went ahead and sent us a profile picture If we all know, and let me show you the picture of where this happened. As we go, if you were on Highway 19, this is the best way I know to describe this, where Lee's Donut is, MCC, the Workforce Development Center, and go take a right on 65th, and you go down to the next four-way stop. This is where you would find Randy's One Stop. Now, this is so senseless as to have these charges put against you. Why? It's not worth it. And let me show you this young lady who now has issues. And this is her as we pull this up. Jamie Morgan. She's been arrested. Why? She was in the store, was going to shoplift, and the clerk stopped her. Well, what does she do? She pulls out a butcher knife, tells the clerk she'll kill her, threatens her. They left on a bicycle heading, I guess that would be due east, wouldn't it, toward Highway 19. Meridian Police Department caught up with them, made an arrest. And it all started because somebody was passing by, saw the butcher knife pulled, and they called the Meridian Police Department and said, hey, you ought to investigate this. Great job by the citizen who reported that. They got in contact with her, the clerk, and sure enough, all that went down. I'm sure there's video of all this, of what happened. But a couple drinks, that now is considered armed robbery when you pull out a knife and threaten and take something. Her life is, well, it's got a big black mark on it, so to speak. It won't be just a misdemeanor for taking a $2 drink. It a lot more serious now. MPD was busy. The U.S. Marshals were in town. They've arrested 3 on murder charges as we pull this up this morning to take a look at this. Kendris Ruffin has been arrested. Also, Kendra Stribley and San Marco Houston. All 3 of these young men have been taken into custody as, well, the U.S. Marshals were in town. Got a little assistance there from MPD. These all date back 2 years to a murder that happened there on Highway 45 and 39 there. Glad to have that off the street. Maybe that'll cut back on crime. We also go to a car burglar who's been arrested in the Meridian area. He's had his picture ID taken as the Meridian Police Department shared this with us as we take a look. Dominique Abel. He's been arrested there. Officers responded to the 1600 block of 13th Avenue of an auto burglary. And we see this almost nightly. He was caught in the act. He's been arrested. That's good. Someone else off the street. Now, I don't know how the crime works as it reaches the other end when it reaches a judge. I don't know how many years you get for something like that, or short time if you get immediately out. I don't need that. I need to have Cassie come in, the DA, and talk with us about all that, of what the law is. Get a better understanding. We'll do that one morning. We'll invite her out and get the other side after it goes past law enforcement. As we look to Oxford, and there's going to be a lot of you when I say this get upset. I don't blame you. How many folks do we have that love pets? Whether it's your puppy dog or your kitty cat, you happen to love them, they become a part of your family. And when somebody harms something that cannot protect itself, it becomes almost an awful crime. It is an awful crime. A Grenada man has been arrested. Why? He arrested himself killing kittens. Awful thing to do. The Oxford Police Department made the arrest. It was an 18-year-old, Carl Travis Jr. from Grenada. Been arrested for that. Why would you want to do such a thing to something that can't, again, help themselves? Down in Forest County from us, down around Hattiesburg, they've made a drug bust. Picked up about 9 of them in that arrest and took them on downtown. They'll have some time to think about what they've done. A homicide investigation as we go to, well, where do we go? Columbus, Mississippi. Gentleman had a wreck, ran off the road. As they pulled him out, they realized he'd been shot. Now, what we don't know at this time is if it was random, if it was a target. That's going to be in Columbus, Mississippi, as that investigation continues. I made a post yesterday morning, if you were paying attention, to some news around the state. Madison, over to the west of us near Jackson there, I put there had been an explosion. There was, and as we dig deeper into this, several workers suffered severe burns Friday morning at the explosion. It happened at a saltwater disposal site in Madison County. WLBT is reporting it. They were one of the first there to the scene to check on this. But at least 6 people sustained 50% burns of their body. This is horrible, and this is head to toe. We think about them. Several of them were, two of them were airlifted to a hospital, to the University Burn Center for treatment. We think about them. No word on what has caused that at this point. Trying to make a living in something like that goes south. 6 people injured. We think about them. As we look around, let me see what else is happening this morning across the state. This is, we step out of the state of Mississippi for this next headline. It bothers me to no end, and I think most of us, I've heard of this happening to pets before, but it almost sounds, we don't know the reasoning of this. It could have been many things. It could have been a game of hide and seek. We don't know if other children were there or how it happened, but a child has been found deceased inside a dryer. He went missing. His parents reported it. He was found later inside the family dryer, deceased. That's in Texas. Spring, Texas is where that happened. Things that go on around the nation that we have no control over. It's heart-stopping, isn't it? It is. Sad that something like that can happen. Pope Francis, we know him. He's a different type of pope. He seems to wear, if this is the middle, a lot of times to be thinking here, but he's saying that he's either got to cut back on his amount of travel or he's got to retire. Which will it be? We'll watch that case and let you know. Someone has bought the ticket. Me and Debbie went in together, and we spent a whopping $6 yesterday to make sure that we had our name in the drawing for the $1.2 billion. Well, it's been drawn. No one has claimed it. It was bought in Chicago. Now, it doesn't mean that they'll come forth. They might even not know they have it. But can you imagine waking up today and being that person? They might still be jumping up and down, smiling, rolling around in the floor, shouting hallelujah. $1.2 billion has been won. Now, we'll see if someone jumps in and claims that. That's a lot of money, isn't it? And it does make you wonder, what would you do with it if you had it? A lot of people have that little dream. It's fun. So many coworkers go in together and will purchase this, and we'll all split it this way, as always, the way it's said there. Good morning. We've got your forecast next. Kind of fill you in on what's going on in and around with our weather here. Y'all don't rush off. We'll do that next. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Fresh peaches, $1.99 a pound. Large tomatoes, $1.79 a pound. Red, yellow, or orange bell peppers, 2 for $3. Fresh plums, $2.99 each. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, $3.99. Coca-Cola 12-pack 12-ounce cans, 2 for $11. And certified Angus beef top sirloin, $5.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And welcome back as we see that Levi Ware watching us this morning from Arkansas. A little rainy there. Desiree Palmer said she had a friend one time when she was a kid that hid in a dryer. We've all seen kids do that, and it could turn out that bad. Sandy White, good morning to you. Janice Bounds is up. J.J. Thorne, glad to see you there. Miss Ann Hall, so many of you. We appreciate y'all watching. So I see Clarence up. He's at it today. Cindy Lee, good morning. Columbus, Mississippi. Hope everything is going well there as well. Always, if you have news in that area, send it to us so we can share it. We're glad to do that. We try to pass along all that we know, whether it's on a real local area here in Lauderdale, Kemper, Clark County, anywhere in the state. We try to touch it all and let you know what's happening across our nation, because at some point, these stories that are nationwide stories do affect you. Some way, somehow, we all know that. All ties together. What happens in one state will eventually make its way to our state, doesn't it? It does. Well, let's get into the forecast, and then we'll come back and look at the radar and show you exactly where things are this morning.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And welcome as we look at today. This is what we've got lined up for you. 89 degrees scattered across Lauderdale County is the high. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Not bad at all. Over at Yazoo, we'll hit 88. Columbus, 89. Greenwood up in the Mississippi Delta should be about 88. A little warmer as we go south to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. 89 there in Laurel. 90 at Hattiesburg. Always a lot going on there, isn't it? Let's go across that Bama state line as we look at Livingston to be right around 89, 90 in those areas. Tuscaloosa will hit 89 in Burmaland, 88 today there. Montgomery in those areas a little bit warmer, just like here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The further you get down toward the coast, the warmer it will be. Now, out of the forecast they've taken out where we've had this heat index every day, it's not one listed for today. But as we pull this up and look for the next 6 to 10 days, not giving up on us. It's still going to be warm. We do have this slight chance of some cooler weather making its way across Las Vegas, New Mexico, and maybe into Texas, cooling it down. But as you'll see, starting out there in California, above average temperatures making their way back this way. Now, this is the forecast for the day. As we give you this, again, the rain will most likely hold off until about 3 o'clock this afternoon before it really makes it in our way. There'll be periods of showers that can happen. Down tonight, still hovering at 60% chance of rain. Should end by 8 o'clock. All of it out of the area, low of 73. By tomorrow, it's minute when it comes to the rain. And this will be way after church. 20% chance of showers moves into the forecast around 2 o'clock. Heat index values jump back tomorrow to about 101. So a warm one, don't forget that. As we look back to the work week beginning, moving up to a 30% chance of showers Monday, and then it gets worse from there. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, a 60% chance of rain. Highs will remain still in those low 90s, and by Friday, it starts kind of backing down, as we'll see that high there on 93 for Friday, but 40% chance. Now let's go ahead and look at this as we drop to a 30% chance a week from today. But it's not out of the forecast. Every day it's in there, some type of scattered shower. We're still maintaining those highs to be only in the mid-90s, 93, 94. Nothing that just jumps out at you near 100, thank heavens. As we look to the tropics, what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico? And we pull it up this morning. Absolutely nothing. Isn't that great? Again, we're moving into August on Monday. Most of our storms come mid to late August into September. We'll watch this. This will probably be changing before long, but for now, we're good for the month. That's good there. As we look at our fishing forecast this morning, brought to you by our good friends out of Chet's Paint and Body. It's going to be a good day to fish. Starting off right now, you can get a little bit of fishing in. A major time this afternoon, beginning about 3 when those showers move in, 3 to 5 o'clock. If you want to get a little bit wet there, go on out. West wind's going to be around 5 miles an hour today if you're out hitting those fishing holes. Enjoy yourself today. As we all know, those weekends pass by mighty quick, don't they? And you're back to work the following day. Enjoy yourself. Maybe you're on full enjoyment and you've reached retirement. There's a few folks that get lucky enough to do that. It's like crossing the finish line, isn't it? So many people do enjoy that. LaWanda Grantham, how are you doing? We do need a little rain, don't we? It is still very dry as we head into this August. Winding down July tomorrow. Enjoy yourself, and thank you for coming by. As always, we'll be here to pass along any information that happens in the neighborhood as we find out. If you know it, let us know so we can find out from officials what's really going on. Thank you all so much for being a part of this and making us what we are. It is the Scotty Ray Report. And again, we'll come back live Monday morning at 6:30 and again at 8 for the morning show on Fox 30, and as well as here on Facebook and YouTube and all of the many different platforms that we broadcast on. All brought to you by, well, you. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you soon from the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: